Alola friends! So a week before Sun and Moon came out in North America, I released a video called Top 5 Most Endangered Pokemon. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, you should definitely check it out. Yeah, a shameless plug seconds into the video. That's how you know this video is going to be good. And in that video, I promised that if we reached 10,000 views and 500 likes within the first week of the video being uploaded, I'd make a sequel video to that about the top 5 endangered Pokemon in real life. But sadly, we weren't able to hit the goal within a week. But then the YouTube gods blessed your boy and sent the traffic my way. So with results like this, why wouldn't I make another sequel video? But I did say that the top 5 endangered Pokemon in real life video would be released if we hit the view and like goal within a week. So I'm gonna have to make a different video that I may or may not be more excited to make than the real life video. See, it works out for both of us. So today, we have the top 5 endangered Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Just like the last video, this will not incorporate any legendary Pokemon, mythical Pokemon, or fossil Pokemon. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to hero punch that like button. If you don't, hit the dislike button, let me know how you feel, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video around. If we can reach a view goal of 15,000 views and 750 likes by the end of the week from when the video was uploaded, I'll also end up making the top 5 endangered Pokemon in real life video. So with all that out of the way, let's get straight into the top 5 most endangered Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Number 5, Haunter. We're starting off this list with a weird one, because we don't have the first stage evolution Ghastly, or the final stage evolution Gengar, but we have the middle stage evolution of the Ghastly line, Haunter. In the Alola region, you can actually find and capture a Haunter in the Thrifty Mega Mart. This makes sense as the Thrifty Mega Mart is the location of Acerola's trial. You can also find Gengar at the Thrifty Mega Mart through the use of SOS battles, and you can find Ghastly at the I can't pronounce Hawaiian names, Hau'oli Cemetery and Memorial Hill. So what gives? If you can find all 3 evolutions of the Ghastly line in Alola, what makes their evolutionary line endangered? Or more specifically, what makes Haunter endangered? Well, if we take a look at our wonderful friend, the Rotom Dex, in Pokemon Moon, its Dex entry for Haunter states the following. It fears the light and revels in the dark. It may be on the verge of extinction in cities that stay brightly lit at night. While I can't tell if the Dex entry is saying that Haunter just avoids places that are brightly lit, or if being in light causes it to die, I can assure you this. When Luigi hears about this, he's definitely gonna take a trip to the Pokemon world. Stun you? No. He's gonna kill you. Again, I guess. But the reason why Haunter is at number 5 is because it seems as if Gengar doesn't need to evolve from Haunter to be born, as I mentioned in a previous video. And Ghastlys can still be born and be fine. And while Alola is a beautiful and colorful region, there are some places shrouded in darkness. So until Luigi hops by the Alola region, Haunter still has some hope to survive. Number 4, Sharpedo. At number 4, we have the brutal Pokemon, Sharpedo. But as most of you probably know, sharks aren't brutal at all. Humans just tend to label sharks as being vicious and brutal creatures. But the fact is that humans are the brutal ones. Every year, roughly 4 to 5 shark attacks take place that are fatal, while humans kill anywhere between 63 million to 273 million sharks a year. Well, it seems as if Game Freak took a note of this because Sharpedo seems to very well be endangered. If you take a look at its Pokemon Moon Dex entry, it says, it has a sad history. In the past, its dorsal fin was a treasured foodstuff, so this Pokemon became a victim of overfishing. So it was definitely endangered at one point in Alola's history, but is it still endangered to this day? I'd say so. Sharpedo is one of the 7 ride Pokemon, and I'd say it was given to the player character really randomly. Grimsley just happened to be there, and just give it to you after winning a coin flip, while all the other ride Pokemon are given to you by characters that are trial captains, island kahunas, or in Machamp's case, a character related to a kahuna. But as far as we know, Grimsley isn't related to anyone of the sort. So it just makes you wonder, would you ever have gone Sharpedo if Grimsley wasn't just chilling by the beach? Carvanha is also unobtainable in Sun and Moon, aside from breeding Sharpedo, and Sharpedo is pretty rare to come by. It can only be found at Pony Breaker Coast, where it has a 10% chance to be found at a bubbling fishing spot, and a 1% chance to be found through normal fishing. Well, hopefully it's not overfished now, but with its Mega Evolution, who's really trying to eat all those spikes? Besides, the Alolan have their Slowpoke tails anyways, so I'm sure Sharpedo's doing better. Number 3. Type Null and Sylvalay. Now, this is probably going to be the most controversial entry on this list. At number 3, we have the synthetic Pokemon, Type Null and Sylvalay. You all know how Type Null was originally called Type Full, and that it was created by Faba, right? And how it was based off of Arceus and the ability to change types, and how it was meant to fight the Ultra Beast, hence why it was codenamed the Beast Killer. Yeah, well, only 3 different Type Fulls ever existed, and since all 3 of them rejected the Arceus system and went berserk, they were given the limiter helmets, were permanently frozen, and were renamed Type Null because of the failure of the experiment. But then, Edgelord Sama came and stole one of the Type Nulls, hoping to one day undo the effects of the limiter helmet and help Type Null use the effects of the Arceus system. And he did, and thus, Sylvalay was born. Well, named, cause he's the only one with the Sylvalay, so he was able to name the Pokemon whatever he really wanted. So he just chose Silver and Ally and put it together. Shout out to Hoops and Hip Hop for figuring the pronunciation of the name before everyone else back in the day, when we called the Pokemon Sylvalay. Anyways, the reason for this entry being controversial is because Type Null is a synthetic Pokemon, and yeah, there are only 3 Type Null in existence. And while Type Null and Sylvalay are the same Pokemon, there are now 2 Type Null and 1 Sylvalay in the game. Well, if you made it to that part of the game anyways. And then after you get your own Type Null and evolve to Sylvalay, there's only going to be 1 Type Null left. Or who knows, maybe that Type Null is already a Sylvalay. Or maybe it's dead. I don't know, but this could make for a decent speculation video. But then again, are Type Null and Sylvalay really endangered? I mean, there were only 3 of them to begin with. They can't breed. Oh, guess when all 3 of the Sylvalay died, it's pretty much sayonara for the Type Null species. Yeah, they're pretty endangered. Number 2. Corsola. A runner-up for this list is none other than the coral Pokemon Corsola. Corsola is talked about pretty often in the Alola region, and that's because it's hunted by Mareanie and Toxapex. Corsola's Moondex entry says the following. Pursued by Mareanie for the branches on its head, this Pokemon will sometimes snap its own branches off as a diversion while it escapes. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Mareanie eat Corsola. So let's take a look at Marienie's Moondex entry real quick. It's found crawling on the beaches and sea floors. The coral that grows on Corsola's head is as good as a 5-star banquet to this Pokemon. Okay then, just the coral on Corsola's head. Not actually Corsola, right? Nope. Not according to Toxapex Pokemon Sun Dex entry anyways. Toxapex crawls along the ocean floor on its 12 legs. It leaves a trail of Corsola bits scattered in its wake. You know, the people of Alola all told me about how Mareanie and Toxapex died on Corsola, but I thought this was like a once in a blue moon 5-star restaurant kind of thing. But the fact that all 3 of these Pokemon have Dex entries about this predator and prey relationship really shows how common this is. Not only that, but both Professor Kukui and the Aether Foundation have Corsola in captivity, showing that they're probably rare species and endangered. So while Corsola isn't confirmed to be endangered, all the signs point towards it being endangered. Plus, it was mentioned so many times in the games that if I didn't mention it, y'all would have started rioting in the comment section. Honorable mention. For today's honorable mention, we have Lapras. Lapras made the list last time for being endangered, and this time it sorta kinda made the list because... Wait, what? There are an overabundance of them now? Darn you, Game Freak, for getting my viewers and I triggered for putting Lapras in the last video. I guess Slowpoke can be in the honorable mention spot for today. While not sure if it's exactly endangered, the Alolans definitely hunt these guys for all them Slowpoke tails. Team Rocket really should have just went to Alola, cut up all the tails of the Slowpoke here, and then went back to Johto and Kanto to start their business. wouldn't have been suspicious at all since it's so common among the lowlands. Humans and Pokemon truly do exist in a very close relationship in Alola. Number 1. Muck. Coming in at number 1 today, no pun intended, we have the sludge Pokemon, Muck. Not Alolan Muck, but good old regular 5th grade classic sex ed joke Muck. Now Muck isn't on here just because it has an Alolan variant. If that was the case, all the other regular forms would have been on here as well. Muck is on this list because the Rotom deck straight up mentions how it may be extinct soon. After recent environmental improvements, this Pokemon is now hardly seen at all. People speculate that it may go extinct at some point. So this is what happens when people actually start taking care of the environment, eh? I guess there really are pros and cons to everything. But come on, Muck. Why wouldn't you want to adapt to Alola and turn into your psychedelic counterpart? Oh well, I guess if all the Muck were to turn into Alolan Mucks, I wouldn't be able to make my friends suffer from the agonizing smell. And I wouldn't be able to make those classic 5th grade sex ed jokes again. It'd be Kaminola instead. You know what? I'm glad you're still around, Muck. Hopefully we can make a giant castle made out of pollution and garbage for your species to live in and eat from, so you guys can survive and thrive till the people of the internet and I can mature just a little bit. What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate your viewership. You may have noticed that I sound differently now than I did throughout the video, and that's because the audio for this video was recorded at the end of November, which is why I spoke a bit fast and I stumbled upon my words and everything. So I do apologize for that, and I hope that it didn't interfere with your enjoyment of the video. But besides that, if you want to further support the channel, be sure to become a Patreon today. But don't forget, your viewership is more than appreciated. Be sure to share the video around so we can hit the like and view goal. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay up to date with all the content on my channel. And yeah, beyond that, once again, thanks guys, and I hope you enjoy your day. Take care. Later.